Gang, you will not believe what's happening as we speak over in Europe, but it's going to absolutely make your day. The new right, the nationalist populist right, is ascending throughout the continent, and they've got a new ally in Elon Musk. This is going to blow you away. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, as many of you know, we have just unveiled our brand new Turley Talks app, our very own platform that can never, ever be canceled. It's a beautiful personal app that you can download completely free just by clicking on the link below or by going to fight.turleytalks.com. This app is our way to declare our independence from all woke platforms that hate us and to tell the international woke police precisely where they can stick it. You're going to love it. Click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com right now. The Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, in Europe held its annual meeting this weekend in Budapest, Hungary. Nationalist populists from all over the continent gathered to hear leaders of the new right and their vision for the rising conservative age in Europe. The featured speaker was, of course, the amazing Viktor Orban, the very successful and popular Prime Minister of Hungary. Here's some highlights from his exceptional speech.
Mi az idén arra vállalkozunk, hogy elkergessük őket onnan. Jöjjön el végre a szuverenisták kora, térjünk vissza arra a békés és biztonságos pályára, ami nagyjá tette a nyugatot. Make America great again, make Europe great again. Hajrá Donald Trump, hajrá európai szuverenisták, nyergeljünk, vértezzük fel magunkat, irány a csatamező, és kezdődjék a választási harc. Barátaim, emlékezetes hetek várnak ránk. Fel győzelemre!
Now, if you're listening by way of podcast, he basically talked about the delusional elites that occupy Brussels and D.C., what he called adherents of the old world. And the old world, of course, is liberal globalism. Liberal globalism dominated the world after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. Frank Fukuyama called it the end of history with the fall of communism and fascism. Liberal globalism now no longer had any great power competitors, and so it was only a matter of time, Fukuyama argued, before all the nations of the world would be absorbed into the norms of liberalism, political liberalism, economic liberalism, and most especially cultural liberalism. That fantasy of the end of history, of course, has now exploded with a massive worldwide backlash against all things liberal and globalist. As it turns out, the vast majority of the planet's population has no interest whatsoever of being governed by a ruling elite that rules in accordance with their own interests and concerns at the expense of the interests and concerns of the people. And so this old world, this world of liberal globalism, is dying away. It's fading, and it's being increasingly replaced by a new world, the world of nationalism, populism, traditionalism, what more and more scholars are calling a rising civilizationalist world. This ultimately is what Ukraine is really all about. This is what Taiwan is about, or Yemen and the control of the Red Sea is all about, and even what Israel and Hamas is all about. But anyway, Orban basically said that this is the year for us to end this old world, to chase these elites away by voting for the nationalist populists in their upcoming European Parliament elections in June and voting in President Trump in November. But what I love about Orban is he recognizes that these are the trends that are redefining the world order today, these civilizationalist trends, this movement back towards nationalism, populism, and traditionalism that's happening all over the world, and most especially in Europe. For example, a new poll just came out showing that in Germany, their Patriot Party, the AfD, the Alternative for Deutschland, is now the #1 most popular party among 14 to 29-year-olds. It was a fascinating survey. It's called the Youth in Germany study, and it found that the under 30 German population is incredibly pessimistic about the state of things in Europe and around the world. They're very pessimistic about the economy, about inflation, about mass immigration. And the AfD has clearly persuaded the under 30 vote that all of these problems are caused by a globalist elite who don't care about them at all, who are violating Germany's sovereignty and who only care about their own power and affluence. And they're not alone. The younger vote, the under 30 vote, is moving en masse towards the so-called far right. Marine Le Pen in France gets her most solid support among the younger vote. Giorgia Meloni of the Brothers of Italy, same with her. Jimmy Åkesson of the Sweden Democrats. The Austrian Freedom Party, which is set to win in a landslide in their national elections in the fall. They're all very, very popular with the under 30 vote. And they happen to be very popular with Elon Musk as well. Wait until you see what he said about this weekend. But first,
I'll be back.
That's right, gang. He is back. It's time to show our support and celebrate the great return by clicking on the link below and getting your very own Trumpinator 2024 bobblehead in preparation for Donald Trump's glorious reascendance to the United States presidency. This collectible bobblehead from Proud Patriots is made with the highest quality material, and it really is a must-have for any Trump fan who wants to send some positive energy towards what's shaping up to be the single most glorious political comeback in history. Now, don't wait. There are just a limited number of these collectibles, and you don't want to be caught paying way more later on eBay from someone who bought one now. So whatever you do, don't wait. Click on that link below right now and show your support for Trump 2024 today. One of the speakers at the conference was the Dutch conservative political activist Eva Vlaardingenbroek, who spoke about what's commonly referred to as the Great Replacement Theory, the notion that our globalist elite are indeed actively trying to replace European white populations with those of the global South.
So I'm going to draw the forbidden conclusion here. The Great Replacement Theory is no longer a theory. It's reality. And what's interesting about replacement is that the establishment will either deny its existence, or when they admit to it, they say that it's a good thing that the native European population is soon no longer a majority on its own continent.
Now, this is where Elon Musk chimed in. He commented on Eva's speech saying, quote, "The problem with the Great Replacement Theory is that it fails to address the foundational issue of low birth rates. Record low birth rates are leading to population collapse in Europe and even faster population collapse in most of Asia. Immigration is low in Asia, and there's no replacement going on. So those countries are simply shrinking away. If this doesn't turn around, then any country on earth with low birth rates will become empty of people and fall into ruin like the remains we see of the many long dead civilizations." Now, what Musk is getting at there is that it actually does us no ultimate good to complain about the deliberately insane immigration levels, both legal and illegal, that are being implemented by our ruling elites if we ourselves are not taking our own demographic future seriously in terms of the current disastrously low fertility rates. So, for example, right now in the United States, there are more white deaths than there are white births, right? The fertility level across the board is dangerously low in both the United States and Europe, far below the 2.1 replacement level. And so Musk is saying that, look, we could close our borders today entirely, and in a matter of a few decades, our civilization could still disappear precisely because of this epidemic of low birth rates. In other words, closing the border is where the saving of our civilization begins. Doesn't end there. We can have our borders completely closed and still see Western civilization disappear. A flourishing civilization and a flourishing fertility rate need each other and imply one another. And this is, of course, where nations like Hungary and Georgia and Russia are taking the lead. They're offering extraordinarily generous tax benefits to married couples who have 3 or more children. In fact, every year, Russian President Vladimir Putin hands out what are called parental glory awards to parents who have like 10 or more children. Yes, that is an actual annual award ceremony in Russia. They're taking their low fertility levels very seriously because they're taking their unique Russian Orthodox civilization very seriously, as is Georgia, as is Hungary, and other nations as well in terms of their unique respective civilizations. So the good news is that Musk's concerns are being addressed, but they're going to have to be addressed all across the European continent by all European populations and increasingly by our American population if we want to see a renewal of Western civilization flourish.